Sisu, the road to revenge, as we see a Tommy who's returning to the house where his family was brutally murdered during the war. The man who refuses to die breaks down the house, loaded onto his truck, and is determined to rebuild it somewhere safe in their honor. When the Red Army commander gets a whiff that he is in Russia, and the man also killed his family, he comes back hell-bent to finish the job. A relentless, eye-popping cross-country chase ensues to the fight to the death. Hey movie peeps, thank you for watching NibbleNFlix, the podcast where snacks meet cinema. I'm your host Jeff Fried. Hit the like button and also subscribe button so you get more videos, and this will be a non-spoiler review for the movie Sisu, The Road to Revenge. And if you've seen the movie already, let me know in the comment section below of your thoughts. So let's get into it. Sisu, The Road to Revenge is directed by Jalmari, Helander, and also directed the first film and going to be directing Rambo, the prequel film, which I'm highly excited about. And coming back as the lead is Jalmari Tommila, is playing Tommy Korpi, who is a former Finnish army commando turned gold miner. And a highly underrated Stephen Lang is playing Igor Dragunov, a Soviet Red Army officer responsible for killing Korpi's family. I enjoyed the first film a lot, and I thought it was very cool what things they were doing in the film, and a lot of attention really goes into the action and the kills and all the cool stuff they were doing. The cinematography, all the stuff was great. But what made that movie for me was the story. And the story was just done a different way to where it's very hard to do when you're doing a story and it's not a lot of dialogue, but I thought they did an amazing job having the actors just basically express how they're feeling with their facial features and actually doing things in the film to show exactly what's going on, telling the story that way. I thought it was a very creative way to make that film, and I think it was very successful at doing that. And I just wanted to see what they were going to do, because in the first film, he basically is retired, he's finding some gold, and he's trying to just cash it in and make some money off of it as a gold miner. And the Red Army figures out that he has some gold and try to take it from him, so it becomes a cool little chase of him fighting off the Red Army in order to survive to cash in his gold. In this film, it was a little bit more different and had a little more emotional weight, and I thought that was really good too. And it did the same thing, not a lot of dialogue in this film. I thought that what they were doing in the story was very interesting. But we learned a little bit what happened with Finland, especially with the war with Russia, where they kind of had to give up some land in order to keep peace with them. And we see Sisu going over the border, trying to get to his house where his family was, and trying to take down the house and bring back all the lumber with him in order so he can build the house back in Finland. And it's really cool what they were doing with that. And unfortunately, the Red Army gets a whiff that he's in Russia, so they are now hunting him down, trying to finally finish the job that they started. So it's a very good start of the film, and I thought it was very interesting as well. And one thing I was not really expecting, and the director said that it would be more action in this film, and it does not lack action. The first 20 and 30 minutes of film, there's a lot of stuff going on. So now that we kind of have a background of film, let's get into the good, the bad, and the score. So the good about this film is just like the first film is the storytelling. The storytelling is done very well when it comes to how they use certain shots to push the story along, how they show how the characters are feeling through facial expressions. And when it comes to their actions, I thought that they did a great job doing that. And the cinematography of this film, just like the first film, is gorgeous and beautiful. And I love what they used when it comes to the certain landscapes that they used, the certain shots they were using. I thought it was very creative as well. And I thought all around the production of this film was really good. And when it comes to the acting, I mean, Jorma Tommila does a fantastic job again. Like I said, he doesn't have a lot of doubt. Actually, he has no dialogue in this one at all. At least in the last film, he said one word or two. And this one, not too much. So at least he was able to show. And I think he just does a great job. It doesn't matter what he's feeling during that time. He's able to show those expressions like clearly, like you know when he's happy, you know when he's sad, you know when he's very upset, when he's feeling a little bit depressed, when he feels a little bit worried. You feel all that, you see all that on his face, and he's able to express that. And I thought that was very well done, just like he did in the first film. So the film has broken down in chapters. It's kind of like the first film, where it has all these different chapters, and each one has their own kind of like action sequences. The action in this film is very insane and very bonkers at times. And it's a lot more than the first film. And as I said earlier, I think within the first 20-30 minutes, it goes right into the action. And it starts off with this cool little piece where it's kind of like Mad Max kind of feel to it, where it's basically a chase scene throughout the whole film of him, you know, trying to get back to Finland so he could build this house or his family while the Red Army's trying to take him down. And I thought it was really cool how they do that. And they do blend those John Wick vibes as well into the film, where you get the cool, awesome kills. You get the gore as well while he's bowling down these bad guys. And I thought they did an amazing job doing that. And when it comes to the chapters, like I said before, there's really cool ones that you see him going through it, trying to fight the Red Army, all different aspects. Either it's on the ground, and through air, attacks, and also in water. So it was really cool how they kind of just spread out all the different chapters and made each one very interesting and fun as well. And like I said before, it's very fun watching him just mowing down all these bad guys. And that's what makes this movie really cool. It's a mindless popcorn film, but it does a very good job executing the action and also building the story and having you care about the main character of the film without any dialogue, which is very hard to do. So the bad about this film is this film is very ambitious and gets ridiculous at times. So if you're going in there not turning off your brain and you're thinking with common sense, then I can see you eye rolling this entire film, because a lot of stuff goes on. They really go for very ambitious, bold things that they do in this film when it comes to the action, the things that the characters do in this film. And it's the stuff that they do. Like, we never know where we're going to pull a knife out of nowhere. So you just gotta keep your mind knowing that this is just for fun. It's ridiculous at times, yes. And there are times in this film as well, it's very convenient or very lucky that something happens that helps out the main character to push along the action sequences. And yeah, I can see that could be a knock on the film. But if you're, like I said before, if you just go in here and just enjoy all the action pieces, the actual good acting with the facial expressions of the characters and everything else, I think you would enjoy this film. But I can see someone not liking it because it's a lot of stuff. I'm saying there's a lot of bold stuff that goes on in this film. The final verdict. So how is the snack worthiness of this film? I had to give this film a score of 4.5 snacks out of 5. And that's because, yeah, the movie is bonkers, a lot of fun, the kills, the action pieces is great, but the story does a great job. It's amazing how they do the story without any dialogue at all when it comes to the main character and a little bit of the other characters as well. And I'm just completely amazed how they just use certain shots and certain ways that they have the characters do things in this film to push the story along. It's very amazing what they do in this film. And I just can't wait to see what Jalmari Helander does in the Rambo prequel film. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do with that film. I think he's going to do a great job. I think he can just jump right into the franchise and do just the same kind of thing with more dialogue, hopefully. But even if not, man, just the look of the film, the action pieces, the sound design, cinematography, everything looks great. And I think he could do an amazing job with the Rambo franchise. So I would say bring your tasty snacks, your tasty nibbles with this film, and just sit and enjoy this film. Turn off your brain for a couple of hours, have some fun. And until next time, keep watching, keep munching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.